Welcome to the Modern Domestic Virtual Bernette Machine Owner class. I'm Erica, and I'm looking forward to starting your sewing machine journey with you. In part 1, I'm going to show you how to get started, even if you've never sewn a stitch in your life. I'll also introduce you to the Bernette Mastery Workbooks, which are a wonderful resource to get you more familiar with your machine. Congratulations on the purchase of your new machine. Now let's get sewing. If you've never sewn before, consulting your manual is a great place to start. Your manual will contain a machine parts overview specific to your machine model, so you can really familiarize yourself with where things are on your specific machine. I'm going to start by walking you through a few basic sewing terms, starting with the bobbin winder. On the top right of your machine, you'll see the bobbin winder, which is the mechanism used to wind thread onto your bobbin. Next is the bobbin winder pre-tension disc, which is at the top middle of your machine. Wrapping your thread around this while you wind your bobbin ensures that your thread goes on your bobbin nice and tight and smooth. You'll find the hand wheel on the right side of the machine. This is used to manually move the needle up and down. The take-up lever is the metal piece shown here. It moves up and down as you sew. It must be in its fully raised position when you thread and then also when you finish your stitch. You can raise it up by turning the hand wheel on a mechanical machine or using your needle up, needle down button on a computerized machine. You can tell it's fully raised when you see it sticking out slightly above the top of the machine. You'll find the needle screw to the right of the needle. You'll loosen this screw to change your machine needle. The needle threader can be accessed via the lever to the left of the needle. We'll talk about how to use this in more detail in part 4. The feed dogs, which you can see are the kind of rough pieces of metal in the picture there, are used to help grab the fabric and move it through as you sew. The stitch plate, which is the metal rectangle surrounding the feed dogs, often has helpful lines on it marking your seam allowance, and seam allowances are the distance from your stitch line to the edge of the fabric. The presser foot is found just above the feed dogs, and with the presser foot lowered onto the feed dogs, they work together to move your fabric as you sew. The presser foot lever is located either on the back of your machine or to the right of the presser foot, depending on your machine model. Always lower your presser foot onto your fabric before you sew. On the front of your machine, you'll find your stitch selection. These will either be dials or buttons, depending on your machine model. You'll use these to change stitches and to change the length and the width of your stitch. Reverse or backstitch will either be a button or a lever on your machine, depending on your model. You'll use this to secure your stitches at the beginning and end of your seams. The foot pedal plugs in on the right side of your machine and sits on the floor as you sew. This works like the gas pedal on your car, so it controls how fast or slowly you sew. Now that we've talked about machine basics, I want to introduce you to the Bernette Mastery Workbooks. These workbooks are a wonderful companion resource along with our virtual machine owner classes to get you comfortable with your machine. I highly encourage you to use these workbooks in order to expand your knowledge of all that your machine can do. Just like this video, these workbooks are online and can be accessed from anywhere on your computer or mobile device. To access them, you're going to go to our website, moderndomesticpdx.com, and click the Machine Resource Guide. This is going to take you to a page with all kinds of information on it. I highly recommend bookmarking this page so you can easily get back to this valuable content. I want you to scroll down until you see Bernette Workbooks, which is going to be right over here to the left. You're going to click that. And you'll see a page pop up with a bunch of different sections. So we've organized the workbooks by machine model. So just go ahead and find the one that applies to you. And you can click on View Workbook to view it or download it. These workbooks are designed to be used as a step-by-step guide to familiarize yourself with your machine. Once you've completed the exercises in them, you can attach the sewn samples to the information pages and make yourself a reference tool to use in the future as you use your machine. Thank you so much for watching this video. In part 2, I'm going to cover the basics, everything you need to know about needles and thread. See you then!